Welcome back, precious gems. My name is Rita from Rita's Treasures, and today we are going to be talking about setting your intentions and what intentions are. You may have heard this in passing, or maybe you haven't. Well, you're in luck because we're going to be going over it today, and I'm going to explain to you why I like or prefer setting intentions versus setting a goal. So, we're going to go through the difference between the two and go over how to set your own intentions. So, as I mentioned, intentions and goals are two separate things, right? So, when you are setting a goal, you have an outcome that you're hoping to achieve. So, your goal actually has an endpoint. And once you reach that goal, if you reach that goal, you have an endpoint. And then either you have to consciously create another goal to extend and make sure that you don't go back on all the progress you made. You have to make another goal to facilitate and keep you in a certain direction. And sometimes when making goals, we fall short because we don't think to create another goal to keep furthering. The goal is all about keep going further and further. And once we sometimes reach that further point, that goal, we sometimes get complacent and a little bit comfortable. And that is when we start falling back into old routines and old habits. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody. And I'm not saying that's 100% what everybody does. Not everybody does that. Some people achieve their goal and they stick with it. And that is super cool. Thumbs up to everybody that does do that. However, for some people, they need a constant reminder daily that they are trying to push through and to be this type of person. And that's where intentions come in. Intentions are all about crafting and shaping yourself, giving yourself daily reminders of what you are and what you're hoping to achieve. The intention that you set for an endeavor places the tone for your process. And what I mean by that is, like, think of it as your why and how for living in the present. That's what makes it totally different from setting a goal. Because your intention, it focuses on your present day-to-day moments versus instead of just keep looking towards the future. And I'm going to go through some examples of what different intentions are and how they sound, and go through how to make your own intentions just to have a clear cut picture for you. Another reason why I am a huge advocate for setting an intention versus a goal is I mentioned that it grounds you in the present. And for people that like to practice mindfulness, setting your intention is a lot more productive for you because with mindfulness, you are already in that mindset of being in the present moment. And what setting an intention does, it helps to remind you to be in the present moment. Because we become so lost in thinking of the future and our future goals, what we want in the future, instead of being in the present and setting those little bricks, brick by brick, to build your path into what you want to see in the future. So, really, there's no problem with having a goal, but I recommend to everyone, on top of having a goal, also have intentions set so that you don't become lost in that future goal. So, how many of you have set goals or even New Year's resolutions, and you have this big picture in mind for what you want to do, what you want your outcome to be, but then you kind of get lost because you really don't know how to even get there. That's what intentions helps to alleviate. It helps to alleviate your confusion, apprehension, frustration on how to get from point A to point B, because your intention is to focus on what you need to do now that will eventually lead you into getting to step B. And an example I'm going to use is an example that I used before. If you're on my blog, um, you want to get better at your health, being able to talk to your doctor. That's a huge one for a lot of people. There are some walls that people have when it comes to talking to your doctor. And as a doctor myself, that is something I have also noticed with my patients is that there's a wall. It's hard to get through sometimes, and it's kind of because of apprehension and frustration when it comes to talking to doctors. So, this intention right here that I like to go over as an example is that the person wants to change their health. They want to have an understanding of everything that's going on, their medications, their issues, all of that. So the intention, the main intention or the goal is to have a better understanding and a better relationship with their doctor. How are they going to do that? Well, they're going to intend to ask questions. If they don't understand what the doctor is saying, the intention is to go ahead and stop the doctor and ask them to explain what they're saying. Intention to be a little bit more open with their doctor and letting them know what's going on in their day to day life. Through opening conversation with their doctor, they were able to gain an understanding of their issues, their medications, even understand the doctor a little bit better. So maybe the doctor isn't so overwhelming to the patient anymore. That is what setting an intention can do. Setting an intention can help to guide you in that present moment to reach your goal or the end point. But keep in mind, your intention is something that you should be just living with in general. So it's nice to set intentions for your goal. However, you should also just be setting intentions in general for your life. Intentions are something that is supposed to be kept going to keep having a positive impact on you. And keep in mind that your there's no limit to the number of intentions that you can set for yourself. You know, they can all differ, whether it's intentions set towards a certain goal or maybe it's just intentions for your daily life. Like for instance, you can have your intention to be more open with your doctors, but you can also have an intention to live more in the present or intend to meditate every day for 5 minutes. Yeah, they can differ. They can hit all areas of your life. Another thing I want you to notice is with these intentions, notice how there is no end to these. That's because there really shouldn't be. Throughout your day, you have choices you have to make. And your intentions are supposed to help you with making a decision on those choices. They help to dictate what you do because it keeps in mind what you're striving for. And what I recommend to some people sometimes is to write down your intentions. Whether you write them on a post it note and put it on your mirror, or you have a journal that you write down your intentions. I have a journal and a workbook. They're both mindfulness journal and workbook. And in the beginning of both of those books, I have a section that teaches you how to write or set your own intentions for yourself. And I also have a section where I generally give you like 8 lines to write down your intentions. And the intention is for your journal or workbook. Every time you open up that book, you can go and look and see what your intentions are so you can keep them in mind as you're doing it. Um, and then underneath that too, I also put like a little pledge for yourself with these intentions. It's really cute. Um, but everything that you do, every little area of your life, you can set an intention for it. So now that I've kind of gone over what intentions are, why they are important, we're going to go through how to craft your own. Your first step for setting your intentions is to figure out what you want to set your intention for. So, is your intention for health reasons, like the example that I gave you. Or maybe you're trying to break a habit. Whatever it is, make sure that you focus your intention to what you're trying to set it for. Understand that your intention is going to impact your daily life. So have a really good reason behind it. Step number 2, look at the changes that you want. So you established what you want to set your intention for. So now you need to figure out what you want to change in your life. So some actions that you've made in the past have caused you to live and to be a certain way. So you intend to change those. Think about the actions and thoughts that you have that should be addressed. So, like in the example that I gave you about being more open with my doctor, right? That was chosen because pride was keeping me from asking questions. I wanted to address pride. So, with your intention, what are you looking to address? Take a moment, reflect on it, and write down some ideas on what you're trying to address. Set it down, and then come back to it another day and take a look at that list again and see if there's anything that needs to be changed or anything that needs to be crossed out. But at the end of it, you should figure out what you're trying to address. And then once you figure out what you want to address, then you go on to step 3, which actually is constructing your intention. So take a deep breath, relax. You've made it to the easy part now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe notification bell to know when my next video is posted. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.